Hi, I'm Julia Ford, and I am one of the handlers for the canines that come to the school for your safety school dogs, and I'm here to talk to you just about a little bit about what happens when we come onto your campus. We always come random. It's an unannounced visit, and when we bring the dogs onto campus, what we're doing is ensuring that there's a safe environment when you come to school. The odors that the dogs are able to detect are all illegal drugs. Marijuana, ecstasy, methamphetamine are just examples. If it's illegal, the dogs are trained to find it, sniff it out. Also drinking alcohol like beer, vodka, tequila. And the amazing things about our dogs is they don't need an open container to find that. They can smell it right through the can. Gunpowder, black powder, flash powder, which is like a loaded gun, bullets, shells, firecrackers. And then medications, whether it be over-the-counter, something the doctor might give you. We normally only train them to find the ones that are more subject to abuse, which would be Xanax, Oxycontin, Vicodin, Ritalin, any of those. And they do not find inhalers and they do not find insulin, so students that have asthma, please don't get nervous, because the dogs are not going to detect that. And then the last thing they'll react to is just a lingering smell. So if I go to a party where people are smoking weed or drinking, even though I don't do it, I'm leaving with every odor, smell that was in that building. And within a couple of months, the dogs can still detect that odor. So when we come onto campus, this is what's going to happen. We may do classrooms, we may do lockers, we may do vehicles. We can check every area of the school premises as long as it's within the school zone. An example of that be if I were to walk in your classroom, what we'll normally do is we walk in with a dog, we say we're here for a safety check. What we have students do is leave their backpacks, hoodies, jackets, purses, everything right there in class, and students step right outside the building or right outside the classroom. So when we're in the classroom, what we do is I just turn my dog and let her sniff everything in that classroom. If the dog reacts to any item in that classroom, what I normally do is we will take that item with that student and go to a separate area and check everything out, make sure it's safe, and we'll get that student right back to class. If a student does have contraband, normally what we do is we'll confiscate that item and then turn it over to the school administration, and they will follow their policy as far as the discipline with that student. Another area where we will be checking is lockers and locker rooms. And normally we kind of do the same thing. We walk into the locker or the locker rooms and we just unleash the dog and let them sniff around. They can check really super high lockers because the dogs are able to jump. That we will be making sure it's a safe place in the parking lots. What we do is we have the dog will run around each vehicle and sniff the seam of the vehicle to pull that odor out of that vehicle. The dogs don't need to get inside the vehicle. Once we identify a vehicle, what we'll do is call that student out. Give them a speech somewhat like with all the items the dogs find, and then we will inspect the vehicle. Please understand when you drive onto campus, the vehicle is subject to search. The last thing I want to talk about is about the dogs that we bring onto the campus, and they are your school safety dogs. The dogs that we use are very non-aggressive, friendly hunting breeds. Labradors are what we have right now. Our dogs are Karma, Hercules, Jinx, and we have a couple new coming in this summer, so you'll probably be seeing them next year, Quinn and possibly Onyx. And they're all non-aggressive. You guys never have to worry about them biting you because they're not going to bite you. They're very friendly. They're here for you. They're here to make it a safe environment for you to come to school. Okay, a little bit about the training. How we train our dogs is we train them by scenting a toy. And we scent that toy with whatever we want them to find. Say if I put this in a bag of marijuana, I'm going to put this away because my dogs love seeing this toy. But if we put this in a bag of marijuana and we let it sit there, then all I have to do is give my dog love and attention with the toy, and she starts to learn that this is the smell that I want you to find. And we do that with every single odor. The first step we do is we might take it and put it in a locker and let the dog run around. And normally when the dog catches that odor, they'll go right over to it. Dog's first instinct is to try to bite or claw, but when they do that, all I do is tell them to sit. When they sit, I take the toy out and I reward them with that. So in their little doggy minds, what they're thinking is, oh, so when I smell this odor, I sit, I get my toy, and they pick up on it right away. Even when a student has brought something to school that doesn't belong here, when the dog is sniffing around and they find it, they don't think that student's bad. All they think is, oh, the student brought my toy to school today. That's all these dogs are thinking. So the most important part, or the point that I want to make to you guys today, is we're here for your safety. We're here to make it a safer place when you come onto campus, and these dogs are your safety dogs. Feel free to come up. When they're not working, please come up and say hi to them because they're very friendly.